Hi, we are from At Home Tuition. In this video, we are going to see few examples on how to create a timeline. The question goes like this. They have given the true story of Pedki Devi. My timeline. She is telling her timeline. My name is Pedki Devi. I live in a village in Dhanbad district, Jharkhand. I never got a chance to go to school. I remember that when I was 5 years old, I broke my foot. I had climbed a tree to eat the jamun fruit, but the branch broke and I fell down. My foot still hurts in winter. While grazing our goats, we often got busy in playing. Once, at the age of 10 years, I got a big scolding. I had lost one goat. At the age of 15 years, I was married. My husband was much older than me. My first daughter was born 3 years after my marriage. Later, I had 3 more children when I was 20, 22 and 24 years old. Time passed very fast then. I was busy with my farm, housework and looking after my animals. But at the age of 35 years, my world came to a stop. My husband fell ill and died. His brothers tried to take away our farm. They beat me badly and said I was a witch. Some good people saved me. We fought a case against those who beat me up. At the age of 40 years, I saw a police station for the first time. When I was 45, I learned to read and write. 2 years later, I got my eldest daughter married. Now I am 50 years old. I enjoy playing with my grandchild. 2 of my children are studying in school. So this is the story of Pedki Devi. Something that happened in her life are given below. Mark these on her timeline. For example, when she was 5 years old, Pedki broke her foot. Okay, so the question asked is, broke her foot. So you have to mark that this is the timeline given. So in the timeline given represents the age in years. This is 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years and 50 years. So broke her foot is given. So from her timeline, life history, we have to find out at what age her foot was broken. So it's marked at 5 on the timeline because it's given at 5 years old, Pedki broke her foot. So we have to mark A near the 5 years. Okay, so next B is given lost one goat. So if you read her story, so at what age she lost her goat? Once at the age of 10 years, I got a big scolding. I had lost one goat. So at the age of 10, she lost one goat. So at the age in years near 10, you have to mark B. Then the C given is got married. So if you read her story, at the age of 15 years, I was married. So she was married at the age of 15 years. So 15 lies between 10 and 20. So in between 10 and 20, you have to make 50 and you have to mark it as C. Then next, had her 4th child. Now you have to read this. Okay. So my first daughter was born 3 years after my marriage. Later I had 3 more children when I was 20, 22 and 24 years. So second daughter is 20, third is 22 and then fourth is 24. So when she was 24 years old, she had her 4th child. So 24 lies between 20 and 30. So you have to mark this 24 near 20. So you have to mark it as D. Then next, first saw a police station. So at what age she first saw the police station? At the age of 40 years, I saw a police station for the first time. So with the age here in the 40, you have to mark it as E. So the E represents first saw a police station. Next, learn to read and write. So if you look at her story, she has given 2 years later, I was 45, I learned to read and write. So at 45, she was learned to read and write. So 40 lies between 40 and 50. So 45 is in between here. So you have to mark 45 and you can mark it as F. Then next question given is eldest daughter got married. So when her eldest daughter got married? So and 2 years later, so 45 she learned to read and write. 2 years later I got my eldest daughter married. So 2 years later means after 2 years from 45 years. So that is 46, 47. So at the age of 47, eldest daughter got married. So 47 is here. So in between 45 and 50, you can mark 47 and you can mark it as G. Next question given is mark your own timeline, ask people around you and mark at least one thing that happened in each year of your life. So age in years is given starting from 1 to 10 years. Okay, so now we'll form a question for this first. So for your understanding, here I made my own timeline from when I was born till the age of 10. So I am Ivan. I was born on August 1, 1973. My mother told when I was 6 months old, I moved objects from hand to hand. At 9 months, I sits without any support. After 3 months, I walked with or without support and started saying one words. When I was 18 months old, I started drinking from a cup, says at least 15 words, points to body parts. At the age of 2, I runs and jumps and speaks in 2-word sentences. When I was 3, I started sorting objects by shape and color. In 1977, I was joined in a play school and started riding tricycle. At the age of 5, I tell name and address, jumps, hops and skips, get dressed by myself, counts 10 or more objects. When I was 6 years old, I joined in a music school. In 1980, I shifted to India along with my parents. On my 8th birthday, my grandfather gifted me a bicycle. At the age of 9, I started riding cycle to school. When I was 10 years old, I was in grade 4. So this is the simple story given for your understanding, and let us see how to mark this story on a timeline. So now we'll mark all the incidents on the timeline. So when I was in the age of 1, I walked with or without support and started saying one words. At the age of 2, I runs and jumps and speaks 2 words in sentences. Then at the age of 3, sorts objects by shape and color. At the age of 4, I was joined in play school. At the age of 5, I tell name and address. At 6 years, I joined in music school. At 7 years, when I was 7 years, I shifted to India along with my parents. So it's given that for my 8th birthday, that is when I was 8 years old, my grandfather gifted me a bicycle. Then at 9 years, I started riding cycle to school. So when I was in 10 years, I was in grade 4. So this is the timeline. You can write it from the given story. Now let's summarize what is a timeline. A story will be given. We have to read and understand the story to answer any questions asked about the given story. So now timeline represents easy way of representing the given data based on the numbers in increasing order from left to right. So timelines are number lines that show when things happened. Helps to see quickly which event comes first or last. Also we can say which event comes before or after another event or in between 2 events. Hope you have understood how to form the timeline of a given events or timeline of your own life history. Thank you for watching the video.